I use, but from what I understand, I don't think it is just specific to myself. Um, aside from that, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp will go up at some point, either this evening or tomorrow. But for the moment, we're just going to take a look at the Ravenclaw common room. And the reason for me doing this is purely because of the fact that I took a sorting hat test recently, so that I could link up that sorting I got into to the Hogwarts Legacy game, and I was sorted into Gryffindor. So both at the current moment, as you will, and those of you who watch it will know that I've linked it up to the Warner Brothers website, and after actually recording that, I actually also linked up my PlayStation 5 as well, so that it was aware of obviously what platform I was going to be playing the game on. So while I did get sorted into Gryffindor, that was purely because of the fact that certain aspects have changed within me, mainly down to my gaming that I've been doing over the last year or so in many aspects. But I'm still a Ravenclaw at heart, so I thought we'd just take a little detour of the Ravenclaw common room, and so far from what I'm seeing, I'm quite impressed. So one of the things I've noticed here is the in-depth detail of the archway and the statue there of Rowena Ravenclaw. She looks fairly young there compared to what her portraits portray her as. So while that is not a surprise, because most statues in real life do not tend to depict the actual sitter at the time of their age, it's because through art you have the ability to change how you look. So one of the things I'm seeing here is obviously the wonderful blue carpet, and also I think it looks like starred curtains from here. So maybe if I play, it might actually take us in a bit further. But this is very fine details, and obviously those of you who've watched the channel will know that I play Hogwarts Mystery, and the common room is not as detailed as it is here. So what I love about this is it gives that very medieval vibes in this. So I'm also noticing that the crest bit that appears to be hanging over, I believe, looks like the lamp. If it takes us round to it, I'll stop it there. Right, so let us just go back slightly. So yes, so if you see, I can't exactly tell what that is because it's not showing what it is, but the crest there, the sort of like the drapery with the crest on is a slightly different colour to what Ravenclaws would be expecting, but I would say it's quite nice to have a bit of different colour there. It would have been nice to have certainly had these vases over here slightly different colour, but I mean it is very beautiful details, and I'm loving the fact that there's a harp there, because I do believe, if I remember rightly from the books, because it's been a while since I've read the book, that there might, I think there is, I don't think there is, there either is or there isn't a reference to a harp. I do know that the devs that have done this have done literally the common rooms to more or less the details of what's in the actual books, more to than what the movies have done. So let's just go on to the next stage. I am loving the carpet there as well, because there is a connection to the stars. So straight away we can see here on either side of these arches here books. Obviously that's in reference to the fact that Ravenclaws are generally perceived to be the wisest of the four houses, and that they tend to soak up knowledge, is the way that my grandmother once described it to me. And this was probably the very reason that I was probably sorted into Ravenclaw originally on what was then the Pottermore site, because I do love soaking up knowledge on history, especially ancient Egyptian history, and certainly like doing my family history as well. So it's quite, I mean, for me, if I had my way, my house would probably be full of bookshelves. So this would be, if I could have this to live in, I would love it. I would be really enjoying it completely. Now, immediately what comes straight to attention here is the wood burning fire. So that is quite interesting, but I would love that, because when I tend to meditate, I love to meditate to either the sound of wood burning fire or the sound of rain against the window, which is why this, the Hogwarts castle in itself would be ideal for me. Obviously the Ravenclaw common room would be good because it would have all the books there. I mean, the details here are just so amazing. It's like, you can see some chairs dotted around just behind the actual open fireplace. You can just see the eagle crest behind it. I love the fact that you're able to draw the curtains down, which I'm guessing is so that if you want some privacy you can get it. I'm noticing that stairs appear to be going down as well as up here, so I'm guessing that there is an up and down to the actual sleeping areas. One of the things I am loving is the sort of the armchair shapes there, because they're very Georgian and late Queen Anne, as we would describe them here in the United Kingdom. And I have to say the actual armour there is very detailed in how it would looked during the time of, I suppose you could say, Richard III and Henry VII, otherwise known as Henry Tudor, father of Henry VIII. And I love I don't know if you can see it, but there's beautiful kind of cross-striped patterns in the window. I think I would have preferred more stained glass, but beggars can't be choosers. I mean, it is quite fabulous detail as it is now. So we're going in a little bit further. So I think they're going to take us to the emphasis that this is going to be the central point of the part of this actual common room. Again, you can just see a globe there to the left hand side, and obviously the chairs I was just saying that look very late Queen Anne to Georgian. Again, is a little bit closer in depth there. You can just see the patterns I was talking about in the windows, so there is a little bit of actual stained glass in there. So I'm wondering, because I can just actually make out to the left here where there's a student sitting, or in between the two students sitting, that there is actually a telescope, I should say. So that I'm guessing the windows are clear so that you can actually look out at the stars. I would be interested to see who that bust is off there. Let's see what else it takes us to. Right, so again, straight away, bookshelves, loving it. Desk seems a bit too simple for my liking, but we are talking about what would be the we would call the Victorian age in Britain, and they were generally, I would probably say, quite simple in most cases. But I love the detail of the curtains there with the stars again, and you can just see some piled books to the right hand side in there, and also some piled books just where the bookcase is itself. There's an armed chair there again, and yet again there's another globe. Right, so this is one of the things that so as you can see that although this looks like it's allowing the student to go straight in, the one thing I am aware of is that because they are going to pretty much go by the books for this, or they have gone pretty much by the books for this, there will be riddles for Ravenclaws to answer. So this is something that I did wonder when I was watching the actual reveal with Chandlerwood last week on Return to Hogwarts Day about linking up the accounts and everything, and it's going to be a bit. It's one of those things. I think that if you're a Ravenclaw, I mean, how they're going to do this is I don't know whether they would make it so that the riddle is fairly easy to give an answer to. I mean, as we generally know, that Luna Lovegood, when she was given a riddle to get into the common room, she didn't give a direct answer to the actual riddle. She kind of answered the riddle with another riddle, and because of that she was let in. So it would be interesting to see how they're going to play this out, which is kind of why I wanted to play out another game with the actual Ravenclaw one that I did. So you just saw the beautiful robes that he's wearing there for Ravenclaw, which is ironically kind of rather green. But in fact, if you look at the, sorry, this just distracted me, but look at the beautiful detail of the actual eagle there. It is amazing. But anyway, yeah, the robe looks amazing as well. And as far as I'm aware, from what I understand from some of the other YouTubers, the robes you should get as a full set once you linked up. So you won't, as far as I'm aware, need to set up 4 accounts just to get all the robes, if that's what you're thinking of perhaps doing. So obviously we won't know till nearer the time. But yeah, getting back to the thing with the riddles, whether they'll make them difficult or whether they'll make them fairly easy, and that we won't know until the game is actually out. And one of the things that we do know from the books, and I believe it was in the movie as well, if you cannot answer the riddle, then obviously you will not be allowed to get into the common room until another student comes along and gets the riddle correct, gets the answer to the riddle correctly. So this would kind of put your character a bit behind if you're a Ravenclaw, I guess. I would like to think that they've made it fairly easy for you to answer the riddles with. So I don't know whether they would do like a similar thing to what they did in Assassin's Creed Valhalla with their version of riddles. and that's give you like 3 options to the actual sort of like answer options to the actual riddle. So there is the possibility of that, something that I don't think the YouTuber that actually mentioned this actually thought about, but it may be because they just didn't play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I can't obviously say what they did or didn't do, to be fair to them, but that is very fine, beautiful detail. I do love the stairs going up there. I think it's kind of, I mean, you get the wooden stairs, which is a lot better than the actual stone stairs that you see in the movie, and the reason I prefer the wooden ones is because they kind of give you a sense of warmth, whereas stone gives you a kind of sense of cold. Stone does draw in cold quite easily. So straight away, as you saw as you went in there, the beautiful statue there of the eagle again, and you can just see above it the actual, I think would obviously be constellations. So we're now getting to see a different angle of the common room before we come in. Oh, now this is absolutely beautiful. So I believe that there may be a telescope at the top of this. So if it goes in enough to show that, and the reason I say that is because again, the Ravenclaws, because of the location within Hogwarts, they are able to see the stars. So where they are, but I mean the beautiful details in the windows again. As far as I'm aware, I think those stairs go down as well as up. So obviously, unless they show it here, we're not going to know. I can tell you this, that when we actually get to play in the games, you can guarantee there'll be much bigger and longer tours of the common rooms. Right, now I didn't quite see, sorry about this, but I don't think it didn't give us enough time to see what there was. So actually it doesn't look like there is an actual telescope there, at least they're not showing one anyway. We'll have to see when obviously the game comes into effect and we're able to play it. So they're withholding certain things for you to discover. I love the way that you're able to flick your wand and make the actual thing move. Oh, look at the. So I don't know if you saw the beautiful detail there of the ceiling again, constellations. So quite interesting. They're holding back quite a few secrets to obviously the common rooms, and I can imagine that when the game does come out and we start playing, one thing we're going to do is take a very long detailed tour of Hogwarts and the common room that our house we've been assigned to is. So I would just remind you that obviously if you have 2 choices. You can link up your Wizarding Worlds fan club to Warner Brothers, or if you would like the game to just sort you into a house, you can do that as well. So you're not being forced to do the actual linking up of your fan club site to the game or to Warner Brothers website, but the downside would be that you wouldn't get the robes that you got there. So I definitely will be linking my, because I'll be interested to see how because I got an Elder Wand, so I'll be interested to see how I do with that because Elder Wand apparently does not like certain wizards if they're not up to proper standards of, and sorry, I should say witches as well, I beg your pardon. But if you're not up to certain scratch and standards, it can pretty much reject you. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out. But that's it for now. I will do a little tour of probably Gryffindor and the other common rooms as well. But for the moment, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. It's a shame I couldn't give more details on what there is to the common room, because I don't think there is a great much in detail out there for Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff compared to that of Slytherin and Gryffindor especially. So anyway, as I say again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay happy, have a good week, and have